From the massive airfields of the Middle East to America's most popular flight destinations, let's look at the most expensive airports in the world. Number 10. Dallas-Fort Worth International. Serving the Texan cities of Dallas and Fort Worth, this massive airport is the 4th busiest in the world by aircraft movement and the 15th busiest in terms of passenger traffic. The International Airfield is located right next to the headquarters of American Airlines, and as such, Dallas-Fort Worth is the largest hub for the airline. DFW, as the airport is known, is one of the few airports to provide service to over 200 destinations around the world, with 249 possible, 62 of which are outside the United States. With an initial cost of $700 million to construct in 1974, Dallas-Fort Worth International has since been thoroughly renovated at the cost of approximately $2.7 billion, putting the cost of the airport near $3.4 billion. And with plans for an additional terminal underway at a cost of up to $3.5 billion, the worth of DFW is sure to keep climbing. Number 9. Kuala Lumpur International. One of the main airports of Southeast Asia, the Kuala Lumpur International Airport handles almost 60 million passengers per year, along with over 714,000 tons of cargo and 399,827 flights. It is the main international airport of Malaysia, and the entirety of the airport site measures an astounding 39 square miles. It is a major hub for Asian airlines such as AirAsia, Asia Cargo Express, Fly Global, Malaysia Airlines, and many more. The Kuala Lumpur International Airport was built upon former agricultural land before its inauguration in 1998. The airport features 3 separate runways, the first to utilize such in the region, and collectively they can handle up to 78 landings per hour. However, planned upgrades for 2019 estimate this number will rise to 108 landings once completed. Visitors to the Malaysian airfield are able to experience a wide selection of duty-free stores and prestigious boutiques, along with top-quality airline lounges, restaurants, massage services, showers, and even prayer rooms. In total, the cost to erect this great airport of Kuala Lumpur added up to 8.5 billion Malaysian ringgits, the equivalent of $3.5 billion at the time. Number 8. Denver International. Home to the longest public-use runway in North America at a length of 16,000 feet, the Denver International Airport is the largest employer in the state of Colorado, with more than 35,000 employees. With 215 destinations, 189 of which reaching the U.S. and servicing nearly 64.5 million passengers a year, this is one of the busiest airports in the country. Denver International boasts 23 different airlines operating within its airfield, chief of which are American airlines like Frontier, United, and Southwest, the last of which utilizes the airport as a main base of operations. Around 85% of this airport's passenger traffic is split between these 3 companies alone. Given its location near the continental center of the United States, Denver International's consistent traffic from these airlines owes heavily to its role in connecting flights across North America. Aside from being busy, big, and serving millions, the Denver International Airport is also known for being partially solar-powered. With 56 acres of land dedicated to solar arrays, the airport's solar project produces enough electricity to power more than 2,500 Denver homes. The cost of the solar system was collectively more than $30 million, but that's a drop in the well of the airport's overall cost of $4.8 billion in 1995, which would have been closer to $7.9 billion today. Number 7. Dubai International. Holding the title of world's busiest airport by international passenger traffic, Dubai International Airport is known for being an especially popular stop for Boeing 777s and Airbus A380s, 2 massive passenger plane models. These large planes have helped this airport also claim the position as the airport with the highest average number of passengers per flight. Altogether, Dubai International hosts around 89 million passengers, transports over 2.6 million metric tons of cargo, and directs more than 408,000 flight movements annually. Accomplishing all of this requires a top-of-the-line facility, which was constructed at a cost of approximately $6 billion, with billions more expected to be invested in maintaining and expanding the airport. It acts as the central hub for 2 of the city's international airlines in Emirates and Fly Dubai. The former is responsible for 51% of all passenger traffic as a premier airline in the Middle East. Fly Dubai only composes about 13% of passenger traffic at the airport, but it remains one of the most popular low-cost airlines in the region. Number 6. Beijing Capital International. In the past 10 years, this international airport has shot up the rankings as one of the busiest airports in the world. In terms of passenger traffic, it is easily the most popular airport in Asia and second busiest worldwide thanks to an annual serving of around 100 million passengers. It ranks 6th in the world in terms of aircraft movements with over 614,000 flights in 2018 and transports over 2 million metric tons of cargo per year. Beijing Capital International initially had just one small terminal when it opened in 1958. It then expanded in 1980, and by 1999, a second terminal was added. Then in 2007, this airport expanded even further, finishing the massive Terminal 3 just in time for the 2008 Beijing Olympics. This world-leading airport cost an impressive $8 billion to finish, $3.5 billion of which was dedicated to Terminal 3 alone. Number 5. London Heathrow. Utilized by more than 80 different airlines, London Heathrow Airport transports flightgoers to 185 different destinations across 84 nations. The four-terminal airfield is a base of operations for Virgin Atlantic as well as a primary hub for British Airways, two of the top airlines in the UK. London Heathrow has a number of unique facilities, such as a resident press corps and multi-faith prayer rooms in each terminal, featuring chaplains for Anglican, Catholic, Hindu, Jewish, Muslim, and other beliefs. Over 80 million passengers passed through the British airport in 2018, and an astounding 480,339 flight movements were recorded that same year. London Heathrow has endured a number of alterations and expansions since opening as an airfield in 1929, with the total cost today accumulating to roughly $10.5 billion. Number 4. Berlin-Brandenburg. After nearly 15 years of planning, the Berlin-Brandenburg Airport finally began construction in 2006. But the project has run into unexpected delays and costs over the years, mainly due to errors in planning, management, and execution, along with some notable corruption. While it was originally slated to open by 2011, this airport remains in construction to this day, with a new target date of completion being August of 2020. Once finished, though, it's predicted that the airport will serve approximately 34 million people per year. This would make it the third most popular airport in Germany and the 15th busiest across all of Europe. The project was initially budgeted at 2.83 billion euros, but the constant delays and issues that arose have driven the cost upward to 4.3 billion in 2012, then 6.9 billion in 2016, and eventually 10.3 billion euros in 2018. This is the equivalent to 11.6 billion US dollars to complete the Berlin-Brandenburg Airport, if it ever sees completion, that is. Number 3. Al Maktoum International. Under construction since 2010, the Al Maktoum International Airport is poised to be one of the largest, most intricate airports in the world. Filling around 35,000 acres of space, this airfield will feature a single free economic zone containing modes of transportation and logistics and value-added services as the center of Dubai South, a proposed residential and commercial complex project. Once operational, Al Maktoum International is predicted to service somewhere between 160 and 260 million passengers per year, along with 12 million metric tons of cargo. The cost of this ambitious airport was thought to be around $8 billion initially, but that number has jumped to anywhere between $12 and $36 billion, with a hopeful date of completion in 2027. Only time will tell how much the Al Maktoum International Airport costs in the end. Number 2. Hong Kong International. Also known as Cheklep Airport in reference to the reclaimed island of the same name. This international airfield has served as Hong Kong's commercial airport since 1998. Construction involved leveling two mountainous islands and filling the 1.5-mile gap of sea between them with rubble from the demolished mountains in order to make an artificial island large enough to support the airport. In addition to the airport itself and various road and railways, the project also required the construction of the then second longest suspension bridge in the world. At the time of its opening, Hong Kong International had the world's largest terminal, measuring 5.72 million square feet. Today, that same Terminal 1 measures 6.1 million square feet after expanding, but comes in third behind Dubai International's Terminal 3 and Beijing Capital International's Terminal 3. In 2018, this massive airport served over 74 million passengers, 427,725 flight movements, and transported 5.1 million metric tons of cargo. This prestigious airport cost $20 billion and took 7 years to construct. Number 1. Kansai International. Built upon a 2.5-mile-long man-made island near the city of Osaka, Japan, Kansai International Airport is reinforced with a large seawall and sliding joints to survive the elements and even natural disasters. This was proven first in 1995, a year after it opened, when the famous Kobe earthquake struck Japan, taking the lives of 6,434 people. The airport, however, escaped virtually untouched, with even the windows remaining fully intact. Then again, in 1998, Kansai withstood the wrath of 120-mile-per-hour winds as a typhoon hit the offshore airport. At the same time, however, this airport has faced a different problem in the form of sinking due to being built atop soft soil. While it was originally sliding into the earth at a rate of 20 inches per year, that has since slowed to just 2.8 inches per year. The cost to create such a unique water-bound airport amassed to a whopping $20 billion.